Welcome to One Africa Today, the voice of the continent that refuses to be silent. Today, we are diving into a topic that is unfolding before us. This is Africa Fights Back. What does it mean when Africa fights back? Before then, there have been a lot of revolution. There have from a continent where it has always been the playground of, colonists. Something fascinating is changing. No, African leaders are fighting back from Burkina Faso to Mali to Niger. They are saying no. The Sahels are saying no. Africa needs to take over. Africa needs to take control over her affairs. Africa needs to control both her internal and her external affairs. And this is interesting. It's in the time where we are in a form of colonialism which is called neo-colonialism, which is worse than the former. But Africa is saying no. We want to fight back. We want to regain the independence. And some leaders started this, but they couldn't succeed. Some are still continuing it. This is the Africa we are fighting for. Africa that will control her own affairs, both internal and external. So at the center of this revolution is a young man, Ibrahim Traore. Ibrahim Traore took over power in 2022. At the age of 34, he saw that his people were in their need of good leadership. Even though we had deep independence, the likes of Kwame Nkrumah led Africa to be independent. But no, Africa has been recolonized despite our independence. And Ibrahim Traore saw this going up, and it was not something he was happy with. That is why he decided to take over power and to cause a revolution. And yes, when he took over power, the president of Mali also took over power, and that of Niger. And these three countries came together to form the Sahel, and they are causing revolution and a shock that moves around Africa, telling Africans to wake up, the giant Africa to wake up, to take over control over her resources. Yes, so that is the Africa we need, the Africa that can tell her own story, the Africa that can control her own resources, the Africa that can control her own affairs. This is what the revolution that is moving. So Africa is fighting back. So the three countries, Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali, came together to form the Sahel Alliance nations. And their message is simple. We want to take over our lands. We want to take over our resources. We want to take over our affairs. We want to control things from our own hands, not to be controlled from outside. This is the message that Africa is capable of managing her own affairs. And these three countries are pushing this agenda. It's time the African leaders wake up and realize that Africans can't and are capable of managing their own affairs. Are we witnessing a new Africa? Yes. The story is unfolding. Africans are saying that we will write our own story, we would have our own future, and we will dream our own dreams. Yes, and this can be seen through the fights and then the struggles of the leaders of the Sahel to make Africa an independent state, Africa to manage her own resources, to take control. And yes, this is a revolution. This is something we are urging Africans to join hands in to fight for the freedom and then if you have been watching One Africa Today, you believe that Africa can own her own development, you believe that Africa can write her own story, you believe that Africa can fight for her own future, then like, share, and follow One Africa Today for more fascinating stories. Thank you.